Mm-hmm.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming to join us for this kind of special event. So we're here because upcoming Virtual Race 13, the runners of the round table, cool poster here, is a Demons and Darkness themed, Demons and Darkness beginning themed virtual race with Sam and Maxine and Janine all going off to explore the Sedgwick Convention for tabletop role-playing. And to celebrate the launch of VR13, we at Able Township have put together, very excitingly, a one-page Zombies Run themed RPG called Zombies Roll, which we are going to give a play of today. So I've got Eleanor, Phil, and Sally here joining me. I'll ask them to introduce themselves in a minute. And we are going to play the game together to, have fun, basically. Show you all how this game system works. Hopefully whet your appetite for VR13 and hang out for a bit. Should be a lot of fun. So let's start with Eleanor. Al, do you want to just kind of tell people who you are, how they might know you? What's your involvement in Zombies Run?
I'm Eleanor Rushton, and I play Janine in Zombies Run, so that might be how you know me.
Welcome, Eleanor. Thank you for coming with us. Phil, how do people know you?
I'm Phil, and I play Sam in Zombies Run. That's probably how you know me, unless I've met you, in which case...
Phil, can I ask you to get a bit closer to that mic?
Oh, yes. Okay.
There we go. Now you're really seeing behind the curtain. It's me bossing everybody around. Sally, how are you doing?
All right, thanks.
How do people know you usually?
Well, they won't recognise me now because I've got a different voice, but I play Maxine in Zombies Run.
Amazing. Eleanor, Phil, and Sally are joining us today because they are the main cast of Virtual Race 13. You can kind of see them on the poster a little bit here. At least see their backs. Very exciting. And yeah, as I said, today we are going to play Zombies Roll, which is a one-page simple RPG system that our team have put together for you all. If you have a VIP subscription, then you'll gain access to this once VR13 launches in the app, which may be already. I'm not quite sure when we're going to put this out. But so this is an exciting new, lightweight, fun role-playing system that you can use to simulate some adventures in and around Able Township. And our intrepid heroes today are going to join us and have such an adventure. So I'll just... talk through the system a little bit before we begin, just so that everyone can understand how we're going to play the game. It's very, very straightforward. So our three intrepid heroes here have created some characters already. We've had a little discussion about who they are. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves in a second. You'll see that each of our players has a runner number next to their name on the video stream. They're not going to be playing their normal characters, and for the sake of our adventure today, we've kind of just picked runner numbers pretty much out of thin air. So Sally isn't actually going to be playing Simon Laughlin, famous runner 3 in seasons 1 and 2 and 3. No worries there about people overlapping with canon at all, but yep. So people have their running numbers there, and I'm going to ask them to just introduce themselves in order. One of the key attribute in this game system is that each character is defined by a single number. Now, we don't have a lot of big character sheets in this game. Everybody has one number which describes their character, which is a number on a scale of 2 to 5, with the 2 end of the scale being brains end of the scale, and the 5 end of the scale being the brawn end of the scale. So characters at the 2 end of the scale are going to be very, very brainy, but not very athletically gifted. And characters at the 5 end of the scale might have a bit more physical prowess, but they might not be quite so well adapted to intellectual challenges. So I'm going to go through and I'll again, I'll start with Eleanor if she's ready. Eleanor, can you tell us, I see you're Runner 16 here. Can you tell us a little bit about Runner 16, who they are, where they're from, what kind of person are we expecting to meet here?
So I think Runner 16 is a botanist and works in. I thought maybe they work somewhere like, I don't know, like a Kew Gardens or like a big garden, not a garden centre, and so and so that's where they were when the kind of apocalypse kind of hit. So they sort of hid out in like the hot houses and stuff, so they could use like trees and things
I like that.
to hide. And I think they're about a 3 on that scale. So quite brainy, but also like good at climbing trees, I guess. And
Yeah, you've got to have a bit of kind of just manual labour under your belt if you're going to be working in a garden all day. If you're kind of a field botanist, you've got to be able to
that's
move
what
a lot
I
of
thought.
earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice. Do you think Runner 16 came to Able relatively soon in the apocalypse, or has been a more recent addition?
I think probably slightly more recent, because I think they had quite a good setup where they were, but then made the move maybe a little bit into things. So
maybe.
Not very recent, but
maybe kind of managed until the weather turned at the gardens, and then they needed somewhere a bit warmer to be a bit better sheltered.
Something like
I
that,
like that a lot. Very, very nice. Thank you, Runner 16. So Phil, who's Runner 13 then?
Runner 13 is it was a professional poker player, and used to be a maths student. Studied maths at university to a fairly high level. They can't read their own writing. Terrible handwriting. They've got. Awful.
Always the way with mathematicians.
Yeah. Right. So funnily enough, right. After I left uni, I sort of a bit of a dreamer, and I just enjoyed doing a bit of I worked as a gardener as well for a while. Now, but I make my money through poker playing nowadays. I'm rational and calculated. I like to know the odds, but I'm also daring, and I like to take a bit of a risk. I'm brave, but I'm not stupid. I'm probably a 3. I'm pretty smart, but I thought I might have been a fencer. I like doing a bit of fencing. So I'm a bit superstitious as well, and I like 13 because it's a prime number. But I'm also a bit superstitious, which is why I asked to be Runner 13. And he said, what might they carry about? Now I'm not sure how useful this is, but I carry an old Victorian penny, my lucky penny, which I call Old Vic.
Very nice.
And I'm not opposed to using it if I'm in a sort of, if I've calculated it's a bit of a 50-50 situation, then I'll get old Vic out. Then,
very nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. So maybe a bit of the gardening experience, maybe Runner 16 and 13 might have bonded over that in the past. A question to be answered in a moment. All right, Sally, can you tell us a little bit about your Runner 3?
Yeah, so I'm for those people that don't normally play this game, because I think I've started off on the wrong foot. I think I gave myself the number there, that's the number I was going to be, but now I've changed that number. But can I stay as Runner 3? Is that good?
You can stay as Runner 3, absolutely. Yeah,
great. So my character actually used to. So my character was brought up in the south in Essex, but her dad's northern, so he always kept pigeons. And actually did pigeon fencing and flying and stuff. So I've always really loved that, and I've got a favourite pigeon, and that's actually what I bring with me all the time. I smuggle my pigeon with me wherever I go, and it will always carry messages back to try and get me out of trouble, and. The reason it does that is because I actually trained with MI6 to be a spy, and I had a terrible accident, a really bad accident. So actually I'm more of a 2 now because I've got a bit of a gammy leg from my accident. And now what I do is I train spies to be spies, but I've still got this secret thing in me that I want a mission, and life feels a bit boring now because I see everybody else going off doing really fun stuff.
Brilliant. What's your pigeon called?
Oh, sorry, that was my pigeon is called.
If you give me an animal to ask about, it's just catnip. I'm just going to go straight after the animal every single time.
It's called Lulu.
Lulu, I love it. I love it. I love
Lulu,
it.
the pigeon.
Fantastic.
Great.
Do you think when you came to Able Township, did you tell everybody about your work in the Secret Services, or do you have like a cover story for what you tell everybody?
Well, because of what I do, I'm very good at reading people, so I do try and blend in. And my cover story is so I give people most of the time my cover story. But it is so sometimes when I trust people, so for me it's really hard to trust people. So most of the time I just say I might work in the cabinet office.
Cabinet office, very good.
Yeah.
Classic cover story.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What amazing characters. Thank you all. So, run a 16, run a 13, run a 3. It's a relatively cold day at Able Township. Early spring, you know how it gets sometimes in Britain before the sun's been up too long. Cold wind, cold air. But in that kind of invigorating way that you get in early spring, it doesn't feel too awful to be outside, which is good because you've been summoned to the quad, the area just out front of Janine's township, Janine's farmhouse, because you've been all put on active duty today and you've been given a special mission. And the head of runners has kind of briefed you that the past few days have been a little bit tumultuous at Able. You've been aware of a lot of the noise going on. Mostly while you've been on routine duties, you've just been hearing things that your operators have been saying. A number of people have actually gotten quite poorly over the past few days. And while Dr. Myers and the rest of the medical staff have got enough antibiotics to kind of look after everybody, people are losing quite a lot of fluids and really struggling to kind of keep people healthy as they recover from this illness that has been kind of making the rounds. So the first objective you've got for today, or objective A, that the head of runners has told you about, is that we really need, Able really needs people to be bringing in kind of like saline solutions, any kind of electrolyte formulas. We need that kind of restorative stuff, like not the primary medicines, but the things that are going to help people convalesce quickly. And then the second thing that has precipitated this run happening right now, right today, is that as the temperatures are changing and kind of the weather's warming up and cooling down quite a lot as it does in spring, some of the generators that have been providing power for Able have started to fail because the kind of expansion and contraction of the metal, some parts have begun to break basically. So we're down a couple of generators. The most recent generator failure was this morning, and now hot water's gone for the camp. One of the comms shacks is out of service. We're down to kind of like skeleton operations, given the amount of power that's available at Able now. So the second thing that we're going to be looking for, we really need you all to find, is anything we might be able to use to repair some of these generators. So we need electrical components. If we manage to find a generator that we can salvage parts from, that's going to be absolutely critical to Able making it through. So that's the mission that you've been given. You're in the quad in front of Abel. I think the first thing we kind of just want to quickly figure out is what your approach to this problem is going to be, and anything you've probably got just about enough time to pick up a little bit of extra equipment before you head out if you need to. There's no hugely imminent threat. So first up, just give me a quick sense, runner 3. How well do you think you know runner 16 and runner 13?
I not because of my issues with trust. I've probably kept them at arm's distance, actually. So I think that there's quite a superficial relationship there. So although what I am quite good at doing is forming connections very quickly with people and finding out maybe what they need and want.
Sure, great. So we're nodding in the hallway colleagues rather than Bezzy mates.
Yeah.
And Phil, what about 13 and 16? Any prior relationship there, or is this kind of first significant contact?
Well, I think we probably had a little bit of a chat about plants at some point. I reckon we probably get on okay. Yeah, I don't know much about runner 3, although as a poker player, I've got a feeling that I've just got this sort of tingle sense about her that there might be more to her than meets the eye, I think. So not mistrust, but you do you get on with it, but there's something there. Yeah.
I love it. And then Eleanor, runner 16. How much attention do you think runner 16 usually pays to kind of like the events around camp and like the scuttlebutt and what people talk about as they're coming in and out of Abel?
I think they're quite they're like a quiet listener. They're sort of like be engaged, but I think they do keep themselves to themselves quite a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think will be quite drawn in. For example, I think while only sort of, as you say, like corridor acquaintances, I think I've been like quite interested in runner 3's pigeon. I think things like that. So I think I like it. I think listening and sort of paying attention, but yeah, not super in the weeds of all the chat.
Beautiful. Is Lulu with us, runner 3?
Always with us, yes.
Always with us.
Unless she's on a mission, so she can be helpful today. Yeah.
So she's in your backpack, relatively content. Have you got one of those like mesh backpacks, or is it in your?
I've kind of got a mesh in my jacket that she's in actually, so I get
amazing.
a little head
amazing.
out. Yeah, so she's
beautiful. Groovy. So I would like runner 16. Eleanor, can you make our first roll of the day, please? I would like you to roll the dice, and the way the rules of this game work are very, very simple. I'll show you the rules again. When I can find my screen, there we go. The way the rules of the game work very, very simple. If I ask you for a brains roll, I want you to roll a die and get a higher number than your character score. If I ask you for a brawn roll, then I want you to roll a die and get lower than your character number, because your brain is higher than your feet. So we want high for brains, low for brawn.
Okay.
So, Eleanor, I'm going to ask you for our first roll of the day. Do you have a die there, or do we need to roll for you?
I can use that if I don't have a physical one. I've got one loaded up, but if you want to do it for me, that's also fine.
I'll give you a roll then. Here we go. So we're going to do a brains roll for runner 16 here. Let's see. So we want a high number. 5, and 5 beats runner 16's 3, which means that you succeed on the brains roll. So you were listening out kind of while you were getting ready this morning, hearing people come in and out of Able Township, and you've got a little bit of information about the current state of play in the world outside. So the morning patrols come back from the nearby city, and cities in general in the apocalypse are a really bad scene. A lot of zombies, a lot of danger, a lot of difficult situations to deal with. So the morning patrol, which keeps an eye on the nearest city to Able, has come back and actually reported that maybe because of the recent weather or just because of some variation in the zombie hordes, the little kind of suburban area in the nearest city is kind of a little bit quieter than it ordinarily would be. So there's maybe an unusual ability to access that part of the city available to you. You've kind of listened out and heard that, and you also just heard about people that have been scoping out a hospital in the other direction for Able, just beginning to figure out if there's a way of getting in there. You didn't hear much conclusive about that, but you're aware that there's a hospital kind of one direction from Able, which you think, based on the scuttlebutt you were hearing this morning, maybe hasn't been surveyed particularly well. And then the city on the other side, which, again, maybe fewer zombies than usual in that little part of town. So that's something that you've remembered, Runner 16, and maybe that's something you want to share with the team, and we can make a plan for how we're going to try and solve our supply shortage.
Great.
Everything's cut out.
So do I now share it with them?
Go ahead. Yes. We can assume that everyone's been listening to me.
Okay. I'll share
yes,
my findings.
So I think the first course of action here is that we need to decide as a group, or you need to decide as a group, which direction you're going to head out in to attempt to look for these kind of helpful supplies and generator components.
I cut out then. Did you share anything, Runner 16?
I've told you what the operator has told
Okay.
you. I've been very open and explicit about everything I've heard, despite what my personal preference might be.
Does anyone know if there's any sort of? Do we know the location of any pharmacies in the city? Because it might be worth taking advantage of the lull. But on the other hand, the hospital's going to have backup generators, so it might be worth scoping that out, because then we can get some meds that we need and the generator run at the same time. Sort of two birds with one stone.
13, you can give me a brains roll to see if you know anything about a location of a pharmacy in the city.
Okay. So higher than a 3.
You want higher than a 3? 3 or higher.
I've got a 6. Honest.
Very nice. Very, very nice. You are fairly confident that there is a pharmacy in that area of the city. Yeah. So it's kind of a. It would have once been kind of like a smaller market town that has been absorbed into a larger city. So it's got your fairly typical kind of bog standard high street. Like there's maybe a Boots or a Superdrug kind of high street chemist, and yeah, you think that's the kind of thing. Runner 16.
Can we also, if we did end up going there, we could also look at if there are like abandoned houses. If we want sort of restorative stuff, like lots of houses might have things like Diarrhea sachets and stuff that probably wouldn't have been picked up by other groups. Maybe.
Well, we've got more intel about the city, so the chances of us not sort of coming under attack, with the odds are more in our favour in that respect. I don't know though. I mean, in terms of getting the meds and it's the generator stuff that I'm concerned about. but maybe it's worth, on balance, perhaps taking the lower risk and get it and seeing what we can find. It's normally crawling with zombies there. I wonder why it isn't. That's another story, but maybe we should take advantage of it. What do you think?
My concern is that if people are putting out on the street that there's a hospital nearby, whether that's a trap. That's my concern about that. So I'm wondering about your idea, Phil, and yours. Do I say Phil or do you say they're runners' numbers?
Say what we all know what you mean. we're not listening to old Stan Islawski today. We don't need to listen.
Runner 13 and runner 16. Yes, I don't know whether there's. The only thing is I'm with you about the generators. I think there's what else have we got close by to help us with generators?
How far away are they? I can't remember. What has anyone run from that bit of the city to the hospital before? I mean, we've got good light today. It's just not going to get dark until later. We could do a quick sweep of the city. What is it to the hospital? What, it's about 30, 40 minutes, something like that.
Everybody give me a brains roll. So have you got a die there, Sally?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yep. So everybody give me a brains roll.
6 again. Honestly, this is a real dice.
6, nice.
I got 3.
How many successes? 3. So Sal, yep, very nice. Eleanor?
Can I roll on this
roll,
on my one?
ahead.
Yeah, okay, cool. Roll. Ooh. It's rolling. 6.
Very nice. So everybody succeeded. So one of the mechanisms in Zombies Roll, the rules, one of the mechanisms in the rules is that in certain circumstances, the operator, the games master, might ask the players to roll more dice than just a single die, based on additional advantages. So in this case, because all the runners are pooling their information together and their knowledge of the area around Able, I'm giving them the ability to each roll 1 die and pool the results together in order to succeed. And the way this works is we only need 1 success for it to be kind of mitigated, like a kind of measured success. But multiple successes mean that the players are granted what we call an insight, which means that the players are allowed to ask me, the operator, a single question, and I must answer truthfully. So you can ask me a relevant question. So I guess the question you're asking basically is, do you think it's possible to run to the city and then to the hospital in the same day safely? Is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are kind of within reasonable running range of each other. Probably a loop which started at Able, took in the suburb, and then went to the hospital and back to Able would be about 12, 13 kilometers maybe. So, like, it's doable. It's a long run. I think the thing that gives you a little bit of pause for thought is how much time that would give you to investigate both locations safely and still make it home before nightfall. So it's certainly not impossible, but you would be pushing your luck a little bit, I think.
Okay.
There's
what do we
something
think,
about the
guys?
diarrhea and the saline. Both of those have salt as an ingredient?
They do, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
one of the things that... No, go ahead. It's just all about helping people recover kind of electrolytes and salts and things after dehydration due to illness. So, yeah.
So I'm just wondering whether we do need to go to the hospital for that, which is very vulnerable. Is there another source to get even the salts that we can then put into the water for people?
Well, that's why I was thinking maybe we could hit that pharmacy in the old city because it's normally hard to get into because there's so many zombies around. There's probably that pharmacy is probably worth taking a crack at. The only thing that's putting me off is whether we should look at stripping the Jennies at the hospital. But I don't know. Something's telling me that if the zombies aren't in the city, maybe that's the place to head.
I think it probably is.
Yeah.
I also wonder. I wonder if there are, obviously the hospital would have the generator and stuff, but I wonder if there might be other businesses or other, I don't know, there might be other things that have some quite powerful electric stuff.
So I'm getting the sense that you're leaning towards going to the city. Do you need to take a vote on that, or are you happy to head out towards the city?
Do we know how far the city is? What the?
It's probably about 5 kilometres. So it's a run, but it's not gonna wipe you out.
What if they got like a Travis Parker? You know, one of those places that you hire electrical equipment and stuff, and a generator.
You could certainly keep an eye out on. Yeah.
We could take a look, and it's good to be outside as well. You know, if there's fewer zombs, we could take the opportunity to have a really good scout around. I reckon.
I think so.
Let's go for it.
Beautiful. So you gather at the gates. The deliberations on where to go and kind of information gathering did take a little bit longer than maybe you would have done otherwise, but you've formulated a really good plan, which is great. So the gates raise and away you run on your mission out of Able. So got kind of five kilometres to cover here. What kind of running formation would you take? You know, what are each of you doing? Are you running close together? Are you spreading out a bit? How are you kind of passing the run? Like, what's your kind of approach to that?
It's pretty cold today. There's quite a chill in the air. I'm keen to keep up quite a brisk pace, really. It's at least at the beginning, because I'm having a bit of a warm up. So I think I'm probably creeping towards the front there.
I'm wondering if we could send Lulu out a bit ahead of us to spot any zombs and come back to us, so that we kind of know if we've got a clear path.
Very
Yeah. What's your kind of way of communicating with Lulu? How well trained is she?
She's very well trained. So we do there's a whistling technique that we have. So I will whistle and bring her back, but she will just come back. So we're kind of so she'll come back to me if we're worried. Otherwise, she'll just stay above my head, and while I'm running, she'll fly. So keep flying around. Yeah.
You can give that a try if you like.
Oh,
Right.
So I am going to make a roll for Lulu.
Yay.
So you see that Lulu flies off overhead, way into the distance. And as you're running, she kind of, goes out of sight. Like, she's a good old flyer as Lulu, flapping away in the distance. And you continue running for a little bit. Runner 13 starts kind of getting a little bit ahead of the pack. 16 and 3, you kind of staying close together. Like, what kind of are you keeping as your running relationship?
I think I tend to be quite sort of quiet when I run, because I think I'm always sort of, even if it's just like 10%, looking for if there are some interesting plants that I might find. I forgot to mention earlier that I think the object I always have is like those little sample things, like little sample pots. So
very nice.
I think that's how I keep myself amused on runs. But because, again, I'm very interested in Lulu, and I think I like Runner 3's vibe, I might be sort of running quite near enough to have a chat if it opens up. But I don't think I would be like, let's talk.
Very nice. Cool. So you're running along for a little bit, kind of 16 and 3 together, maybe kind of a few dozen paces back from 13, who's running out in front. And the sun's kind of beginning to rise, you're warming up a little. So far, surprisingly little kind of sign of trouble. And after maybe you've been running for about half an hour, maybe about halfway there, Lulu kind of comes flying back, and run a 3. Can you make me a brains roll, but roll 2 dice because of your good relationship with Lulu?
Yes. Oh, I've got two dice here.
Beautiful.
Okay. Do you want 1 dice for Lulu, 1 dice for me? Or
No, just roll both and tell me how many of them are above your 2.
So I've got a 5 and a 4.
Beautiful. So both successes. Lulu wouldn't normally take half an hour to kind of go away and come back this far. She tends to fly quite a bit quicker than this. So, you notice that she's come back and she's fine, but she's maybe flying a little bit slower, and a couple of her feathers are a little bit ruffled, and you get the sense that Lulu's maybe encountered a little bit of trouble while she's gone. Now, she doesn't give you your trained 3 coups for zombies, which is how she would normally let you know that she's spotted some zombies. So you don't get the sense that she's run into any zombies, but certainly while Lulu has been gone, something has happened for her which is unusual. But I'm afraid you don't have any way of knowing what. But you're fairly confident that the direction you're heading in, you're probably not going to encounter any zombies, at least for a little while. So, it's a pretty good sign there.
Is Lulu okay, Sri? Do you need to stop for a bit, or are you happy to carry on running?
Well, I'm just wondering. I think I might. She's snuggling into my neck, so I think I might just put her back in, and I'll have her close to me for a little bit, because she seems a bit not herself. So I'm gonna hold on to her.
She's definitely like responding to being calmed, and she's kind of and grateful for the fact that she's back kind of in her familiar place. You definitely don't think she's injured, but she's seeming a little bit perturbed, I suppose. Bird-turbed, am I right? So you continue running, and after maybe about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, you kind of get within sight of the suburb now. It's been a remarkably trouble-free run, actually, for the beginning. Lulu's lookout certainly can't have hurt, but the scuttlebutt you heard back at Abel it seems to have held true. There aren't that many zombies out today, and the road has been pretty clear. So you've arrived on the outskirts of the city, probably about half a kilometre from kind of the area of town that you've heard is worthwhile. You're kind of on a not so much of a hill, but the road that approaches the town kind of loops down, kind of a long slope, kind of an old A road basically. And the sort of 2 main approaches to this part of town are: you can follow the main road that goes into the town down this hill, kind of over a little bridge, and then you get into the kind of out-of-town shopping area just on the other side of the bridge there. And the other path is to kind of go across these fields. Just by the road, you've got a lot of that kind of filler farmland that you tend to get by main roads. And then running alongside the river on the other side of the farmland, there's kind of some railway tracks. And the railway actually comes out of town kind of on a little bit further down the river from the road bridge. And there's a rail bridge which would take you into the other side of the kind of general shopping centre. So you can approach via the kind of main road, the tarmac road, or you can cross the farmland field to reach this rail bridge that's going to take you to the other side of the shopping centre. So,
yeah. Well, I'm gonna have a little swig of water from the bottle. It's eerie, isn't it? It's strange. There's not much about at all. I feel like we should I think we should take the route in with that gives us the most chance of seeing what's on either side of us. What do you think, guys?
So maybe the farm. Do you mean like the farmland one?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it does feel unnervingly quiet. And I don't know what Lulu's seen, so there could be life out there.
Can we hear any animals or anything like that? Any other birds or anything?
Give me a brain roll.
All of us.
What?
No, just 13.
1.
So that's a failure.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't notice that it's like deathly silent or anything.
No.
As far as you can tell, there's no major difference between this day and any other in terms of the amount of ambient noise. That you have seen fewer zombies empirically while you're running, and that's about the only information you've got.
Sure. Okay.
Have any trains gone through?
Not for about 18 months since the zombie apocalypse, no.
Okay, nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about generators. If there's some generators at if there's like a
Station.
like a warehouse for the trains,
Like
or
a
something.
rail yard.
It's
Yeah,
not a
like
bad
a rail
idea,
yard.
actually. I'm getting the feeling that we should head over to the tracks and go into town that way, see what we can see. I don't think we should stop here too long, though. I'm not feeling that comfortable.
Beautiful. All happy to head across the fields?
Yeah.
So you start to head down through the grassy field. It's completely unremarkable, pretty much. A bunch of grass. Maybe at one point something else was put to pasture there, but that's about it. And then you head kind of along the train tracks, and there's the rail bridge that crosses the river. Doesn't really have much of a footway. It's not designed for people to walk across. It's mainly there for trains. And it has been, like I said, about 18 months since the outbreak. Now it's been a long while, and things just kind of go to disrepair quite quickly. There's plants growing, things just getting a little bit overgrown. So I would like each of you to just make me a brawn check, just to figure out how successfully you're navigating the crossing of the bridge here.
6 again.
6.
Whoops.
4.
4.
5.
5. It's just really tough going for you all. It's tricky underfoot. There's a lot of vines in the way. It takes you just straight up like half an hour to get across this bridge. You're having to really pick your way through these vines, watch out for broken sleepers, and be really careful. All the debris and things that are kind of littering this bridge could just hide zombies at any point. You don't find any zombies as you're crossing, but you do end up burning quite a lot of time, so that we're kind of past midday already, and you're only just across this bridge. So as you walk over the other side of the rail bridge, the railway kind of forks here, and you can see that one fork goes into the shopping centre. So away to your left, kind of what you might imagine is kind of the train station for this little conurbation. And one straight ahead goes down kind of a relatively nondescript kind of railway siding. It doesn't look as humanly habitable, so to speak. Kind of maintenance branch, if you see what I mean. So away to the left, you've got the shopping centre, and straight ahead of you, you've got kind of a bit of a maintenance path for the railway.
The maintenance one's going to be where the electric stuff is, I guess, if it's anywhere. But I reckon maybe the shopping centre will have some of that stuff and a large Boots or Superdrug.
Yeah, I agree. Let's get in there. Time's cracking on. The sun's getting quite strong, actually.
So you head over to the shopping centre. How now that you're heading kind of into the urban area, what's your approach now? Kind of you've had your kind of hour of running in more open fields and kind of rural area. Now the walls are closing in a little bit. You're not used to. You don't spend a lot of time in quite such a dense environment anymore.
Yeah.
I think I feel quite nervous.
I'm feeling pretty uneasy about it.
Is anybody taking any kind of like special precautions? What's your approach?
I'm
trying to keep a bit of distance, I think, just so that we're not in a clump and we could get cornered kind of thing. So I'm just wondering about us trying to, like a triangle, or I don't know what kind of shape, but sort of that we've got all kind of peripheral
That's a really
vision
good
covered.
idea, 3. Let's try and stay in a sort of triangle formation. Keep your eyes on the edge of the path.
You do hear while you're kind of wandering into the urban area, on the edge of your hearing, kind of the wind is like whistling through the buildings, like and you do notice now that like you're not hearing really any ambient noise from the city, just this kind of like whistling through the buildings distantly. Yeah, it's kind of too quiet.
Yeah, this is spooky.
So the shopping centre's approaching now, and I would like who's at the front of the group. So run a 3 of establish you're kind of hanging back a little bit, staying cautious. Who do we think's at the front of the group here?
Well, I was earlier, so I figure we're sort of like maybe rotating, but I'm probably still sort of mostly scouting around. I think.
So give me a brains roll.
It's 6 again. Seriously.
6 again.
got
That's
a
good for
cheating
brains.
dice.
That's good. Yeah, if you've got a cheeky poker player's rigged die.
These are
Yeah,
they
we
are
don't trust
poker
him.
dice. they are.
Good old runner 13. Okay, so as you're walking into the city, you're kind of scouting out the area, and the first thing that you notice is that the streets have been kind of cleared of cars. Like there aren't any cars in this kind of like shopping centre area.
Wow, that's weird.
And you see that there are kind of maybe about 6 or 7 shops on the kind of little high street area that you're kind of walking down, and of these shops you can immediately see that 3 of them have been pretty well ransacked. You can see that the frozen food store is kind of is pretty well raided. The windows are all broken at the front and all those kinds of things. And you see that the kind of outdoor supply shop has been pretty well raided as well. There are 4 shops that don't appear to have been majorly troubled. One of which is like a hairdresser's. One of which is like a quick fit, basically, kind of a high street garage. I'm trying to think of an American phrase for this for the audience. I'm so sorry. A mechanic, a high street mechanic kind of store. And then there's a kind of a coffee shop, and then a gym. Those are the 4 places that haven't really been particularly well raided. So those are the stores that are available here, at least on this little part of the high street.
Well, the gym's good for protein drinks in one of those vending machines or something. isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. We should go in
they'll
and
probably
raid
have
the
first
drinks.
aid stuff too.
Yeah, and isolite things. I don't know, all those kind of things. Yeah.
Okay,
think
great.
so.
So the gym is on the kind of river side of the high street. You've now walked past the road bridge, so you've kind of come all the way across town now. So the gym is sort of like a little bit past the road bridge on the river side of the high street. And the doors either side of it, the shops have been pretty well ransacked there. So talk to me about how you're going to approach this.
3.
Is there a? Yeah.
Do you think you could let sorry, what's your pigeon's name again?
Lulu.
Lulu. Is Lulu feeling okay now? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's a lot more confident and looking around.
Do you,
yeah.
do you reckon she could? I've never been out with Lulu before. It's pretty cool, but do you reckon? I don't know. She can't keep watch for us or anything? Could she? If you let her out, it would be. Because I'm feeling really weird about how quiet it is around here, and I don't think we should split up or anything. But it'd be great if someone could sort of watch out for us while we go in.
Yeah, that's she can do that. Yeah, I can get her to do that. I'll get her to do that. Yeah, great.
That would make me
Beautiful.
feel
Sally, can I ask you to give me a brains roll, just for how well Lulu kind of understands what you're asking of her?
Oh, a 2.
So 2 is bang on your number, which actually means that's better than anything else.
Oh,
the
is
best
it? Okay.
result you can have in this game is rolling equal to your number, because that gives you a success and a little bit of an insight. So
Great.
you communicate with Lulu in your kind of little special, cooing. Your pigeon
Runner
fancy
16 is
coo.
thrilled.
And Lulu, quite obligingly, kind of flaps over and lands on top of a bus stop on the high street. You
Tell her to make a
actually
noise
know-
like a pigeon if she sees anything.
Indeed, she will coo extra loud if she sees anything. And you actually notice, now that you see her flying away from you, Runner 3, you notice that she's flying like a little bit, kind of, not erratically as such, but like she's off kilter a little bit. And you just remember that when she was kind of like a young pigeon and you were first training her to home and she hadn't quite gotten her like navigation kind of like lined up, that she would fly a little bit kind of like wobbly as well. So you just notice that she's flying a little bit, not badly, like you don't think she's going to fall out of the sky, but she's just almost not drunk, but like she looks a bit drunk.
I'm not happy about that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I've got lots of theories going around in my head already about that.
So Lulu's landed on the bus stop, ready to look out for you. Talk to me about how you are getting into this gym
Wow,
to
that's
look
so
for
clever.
your.
It's really cool. Is the door locked? Is the door open or barred or anything like that? Do we know?
Let's find out. The door doesn't seem to be barred, certainly. No, I think the door looks open.
Does it have big windows? Like, you know how some gyms have those big windows? Does it have that? Can we see in like quite
Yeah,
well?
you can see him. It's it's dark. It's dark inside because there's no lights on. There's light coming in through the windows. It looks like a pretty standard kind of small town gym. There's treadmills, weight rack, an elliptical machine. It doesn't look like the kind of place that has multiple rooms. There's kind of you can see that, for example, the lockers are at the back of the room that you can see into. So you kind of surmise that this isn't a huge complex place. Looks like, standard single room shopping unit, basically.
Can we see a vending machine or any drinks or anything from just looking in, so we know where to dash to?
There's kind of like you've got the windows at the front, and then the machines are all arrayed down the sides of the main room with the lockers at the back. And in the back kind of left corner from as you're looking in, there's the reception desk.
Yeah.
And there's, you know how in like a doctor's waiting room there's sometimes like a reception desk and then a wall and then like a little alcove between two walls? You see that there's an alcove back there. You can't see into it, but there's like some little area behind reception, certainly.
What weapons have we got? I don't. What am I carrying?
You can each just kind of choose that you've got a melee weapon. Like I think, runners out and about are going to have something handheld to hit a zombie with. I'm not going to be too worried about that. I don't think any of you would have been permitted to carry guns on a mission like this, but you've all got your kind of whatever your trusty signature weapon is. You can certainly choose.
Cricket bat.
Cricket bat, very nice. Okay, so how are you going to get him? What's your approach going to be?
Well, we need to kind of probably go in and just check out the whole place first, don't we? To have a plan of who. Is there an upstairs to this, or is it all on one level?
You can't see any stairs. That's not to say there are any, but you can't see any.
Okay. Let's. Shall I just, I give the door a try, just push it open, have a little look.
Yeah, I think that's.
I reckon
We can see.
I could definitely smash one of the vending machines with my bat if you keep a lookout for me.
We could bring the weights as well. Maybe use those to smash through.
Yeah, if we can grab
Dumbbells.
some. Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So runner 13, you push through the door. The door opens easily. It's you guess that perhaps the outbreak happened here, kind of midday. Some day when the gym was just open and the place was abandoned. Rather than locked up properly overnight or anything. I'm going to ask you to make me a brawn roll, though.
Okay.
Just as you come through the door.
Okay. I better roll a 6 again, which would be rubbish. Oh no, a 2.
A 2. So as you step through the door, you kind of push the door open, and it just sticks a little bit in the hinge. It's kind of gotten warped over time, and you manage to just pop it and get in, and get in without too much of a problem there. So you're inside the gym room now. As described before, there's kind of gym machines all around the wall.
Right. Okay.
Reception desk, alcove.
Okay.
Should we head quietly back? Maybe.
Let's head
like
quietly
maybe in a
back.
line.
Go quietly.
Yeah.
Well, towards the alcove. Are we going to creep up
Let's
there?
go to the lockers at the back.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm sort of. I've swapped position towards the back. I'm sort of like on. I don't know the military term. Is it on point or something? No.
On point.
I'm sort of like sort of half walking backwards, keeping a lookout behind as we're sort of creeping up there.
Can you please make me another brawn roll?
Oh, 4.
4. Gently, carefully, cautiously stalking through the store. Hands on your cricket bat. The gym machine's silent, dark on the whole room. With your nerves so highly strung and your attention on the room around you, you kind of don't notice that you're stepping. As you're walking, you step on like a half-empty old water bottle, and it crinkles underfoot and makes a very loud cracking noise.
Sorry.
And suddenly, in response, bursting from the alcove behind the reception desk, a zombie charges out at you, and you have a very short instant to react. Swing the cricket
Wow,
bat.
yes.
Make me a brawn
Swing
roll.
it right at its bonds. 2.
2. Nerves jangling with fear, right on the edge of your attention. You swing the cricket bat, heartily connect with the zombie, and splatter its dead brains all across the wall of the gym. A very narrow escape.
6.
Good job, runner 13. 6. Beautiful. 16 and 3, and you've just seen this zombie charge runner 13. He's reacted almost superhumanly quickly. How are you responding?
Well, are you okay? How you doing, Phil? How you doing?
All right. I'm buzzing, actually.
Yeah. Keep your voice down, though. I think you were a bit loud before.
I'm so sorry. I was keeping a lookout and I just trod on that thing, and I'm so sorry. But
Easily done.
it just was in that dark bit. I'm not sure
Are there any more, do you think?
if there's going to be any more. I don't think we should hang around in here for too long. Can we see anything that we can grab at this stage?
Do you think it might be worth making another like controlled noise, like to see if any others come out, and then we can, as in if we want to keep exploring in here, we maybe need to
might just
sort of
be the
flush out
one
any
sort of
others.
hanging around for a few weeks. You mean?
Yeah, hopefully.
The working out zombie. Is that the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe if we just like, I don't know, quietly.
What's your weapon?
Sort of
Number 16. Runner 16.
a very carefully chosen, very hard stick
A hard stick.
from my favourite tree.
Very nice. What is your favourite tree?
Oh, I only know its Latin name. I can't tell. I couldn't.
Pray tell what is its
None
Latin
of us
name?
speak Latin. None of us.
I
Speak
don't want to bring it up. It's really hard.
We'd only be
You
intimidated.
don't want to botany explain to the rest of us.
It's very. It's a great tree.
Beautiful. Yeah. Do you want to put together some kind of plan to try and summon other zombies out of the building?
Wait, yeah, that's really good.
Oh, I'm feeling a bit uneasy about it, but if you've been, I'm not really that experienced in closed urban environments.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Maybe if we go into the bit that we can see quite a lot of that doesn't have an alcove in the bigger space with the gym machines, make a little noise in there, and then if a zombie comes out of the alcove, they're heading down a corridor that we're no longer in. Is that right? That's the shape of the gym. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. So if we step to the side of it.
I could take one of the weights and sort of throw it down the corridor, see what's in there. Yeah.
Isn't there a changing room as well? What about the changing room? That could
It's all right. I can do it as I am.
Hey-o.
I insist you change.
There's some stuff in the shop, the gym shop. If you could put that, the gold gym.
Could get matching outfits to celebrate our trip together.
Really high socks. That would be nice.
Yeah. Wrap Lulu in like a headband.
Oh my god. Pigeon leg warmers.
So good.
Right. So, what's the plan?
Well, I'm a bit nervous about this idea of attracting anymore, to be honest. So I'm going to say, look, if you want to try it, try it. I've got my bat ready. I'm kind of
Could we get a barricade up or something? Create with the gym equipment, sort of thing. Like even things like like those rowing machines you can put on their end, and then if they come towards us, we could throw them over, like onto them or something.
We've only seen one at the moment, though. It seems like that might be a lot of work. When I think we should try and just get in and out of this place. I mean, what's the point in hanging around here if we can't even? Let's remember what we need.
Have we got a bag to put all the stuff in? We've got rucksacks.
I assume we've got a rucksack.
Who's inside the gym right now? Are you having this conversation on the street, or are you having this conversation inside?
We're inside
I thought
the
we were all
gym.
inside,
I'm really
actually.
quiet.
You've all stepped inside.
We're inside the gym.
All right. Can you all make me a brains roll? Then?
Yeah. 2.
4.
1.
Eleanor, you can hear a noise. You think you can hear someone talking upstairs? Or right above you, I guess. Like you can hear. Yeah, you can hear talking from upstairs.
Okay. Any chance we could ask Lulu to look through an upper window?
Hey,
Is that a thing she could do?
I'm going to ask you how much information you expect to get from a pigeon who can't talk. Like, pigeon shrub.
I'm the pigeon
About that
whisperer.
The pigeon whisperer.
What's that, Skippy?
It's only in the
Number
outflow.
5's fallen down the well.
Okay, fine. Point taken. Fine.
Did you say you heard voices? Was there supposed to be any other groups from Able coming here today? We haven't.
No.
Right.
Maybe someone's barricaded. If there's like a flat above the shop line, maybe someone's barricaded themselves in there.
Okay. Do you reckon we should investigate?
I do.
Okay. Well, I predict
Might
the
recruit some more
chances
runners.
of them being friendly are. Well.
But they're talking. Not zombies, right?
We've probably got about a 70% chance. Based on previous
that's
encounters and yeah, okay, I'll go along with it.
I think it's a good idea. How do we get to them? And how do we get up to their flat?
Maybe it's towards the back where we need to
Through
go.
the alcove.
You'll need to pass. The only area of the gym that you haven't yet explored is through the alcove.
Have we got any way of lighting it up before we go down there?
None of you have explicitly told me you're carrying a torch, but we will say on a look roll, odds someone is carrying a torch, evens no one is carrying a torch. Who's got the torch?
Is it odds? No one. I've got 6, anyway.
someone's got a torch, but who is it?
I've got a 1.
I've got a
just
6.
done a 1.
Oh,
Okay, so Sally will say that you're carrying a torch. Maybe your Secret Service training has taught you to always be prepared. Mm-hmm. So you have a torch. How are you going to explore? You want to press ahead and explore this alcove?
Yep.
Light it up with your torch. You start to creep towards the alcove. Flickering beam of your torch kind of passing across the wall. And the first thing that you light up is indeed a kind of vending machine on one wall of the alcove. As you kind of edge round, you see that the alcove does indeed kind of lead to just a set of stairs that go up to kind of like the flat above the shop. But you actually see slumped at the bottom of the stairs. There's a dead body there, and that's clearly what this zombie was eating when you arrived. So you're stood at the end of this kind of alcove hallway with your torchlight catching on the dead body at the bottom of the stairs.
And they've not turned into a zombie.
I'm going to immediately. I've already. My urge is to smash it through the head to make because that's what you normally do, right?
Make me a brawn roll with 2 dice, please.
6 and 4.
you're finding it difficult to like break the head off, and it just takes you an extra couple of minutes. It's kind of a silly thing for me to actually to roll for, to be honest. It's hard to miss a stationary target. But yeah, that's a good idea. So you've decapitated this figure. But what you also notice is that the noise that you were hearing is actually from a radio that this dead body is carrying. And there's a radio like in one of this person's side pockets.
Oh, so maybe they're a runner. Is it like a radio set?
Not
Or
a head,
radio?
like a kind of like a walkie-talkie radio. Yeah, that's what you're hearing. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Who's on the other end?
Should we talk
Oh,
into
let's
it?
have a little
Yeah.
listen. Yeah, let's see what's going on.
Which are you going to do? You're going to talk or listen?
Listen.
I think we should listen first.
Listen.
Listen first, yeah.
Okay. So what you were hearing is very faint. The radio's turned down really low. It's pretty clear that this person was kind of hiding in the gym and was probably trying to avoid exactly what ended up happening, which is that a zombie heard the radio and caught this person by surprise. You listen in to the radio for a minute or two, and you hear that there's actually a lot of people talking on the radio, and there's quite a like organized cadence to how they're talking. Like it seems like you're kind of eavesdropping on some kind of big, operation. Eleanor, can you give me a brains roll, please?
Yes. 4 again.
Nice. So you're hearing them talk, and one of the phrases that you kind of latch onto, that you're kind of picking out of the radio chatter, is that they keep talking about like containment. They keep saying like containment is holding, containment is holding. And another thing is you can hear just like whenever this one person talks to report about containment, you can just kind of hear this almost like a musical note in the background. Like you can just hear like a whistling noise.
Is it like the whistling noise that we could hear through the streets outside in the eerie silence of the town?
Make a brains roll.
Oh God!
Good memory.
4.
Very good memory.
Yeah, that's the noise you're hearing on the radio.
Oh, well done. Runner 13.
Good runner 13.
It sounds like who could this be? I mean, it's not us. It's not anyone we know about doing this.
Anything else in the pockets?
Containment.
Township or?
So there's no zombies, and they're talking about containment, and it's here.
Do you think they're trying to contain us?
It sounds like they're
probably
trying to
not.
contain zombies to me. Which explains why it's unusually quiet. Someone's experimenting with some kind of sound-based weapon. Is this this whining sound, right? Because it is a mathematical universe. Frequencies do affect things on a very deep fundamental level. There was research into this kind of thing I happen to know of.
Sally, you mentioned you were rummaging through pockets. Can you also make me a brains roll, please?
4.
4. You find just kind of pretty standard runner's gear. This person's carrying like a bottle of water and some kind of a crowbar or something. Nothing hugely remarkable. But while you're rummaging, one of the things that you hear on the radio, a bit further, more detail. That so as well as picking out this kind of running communication of like containment is being held, you notice that you're starting to hear a number of like different people are reporting like that they're in position. So you hear kind of like station 1 in position, station 2 in position, and then it gets all the way around to kind of station 4, and the person at station 4 kind of misspeaks, and they say Rotherham Park in position. They kind of misspeak, and then they correct themselves. Station 4 in position, and you remember that that is actually one of the parks that's nearby Able. You kind of ran past that park on your way to this town.
Oh my God! I think they're preparing to spring a trap on or an attack on Able by perhaps surrounding Able by zombies and.
Can we divert them with the one we've got? Can we give them more different information to abort or something?
Ooh.
Or get them to go somewhere else? Because we've got one of the controllers.
Yeah, be like there's a big problem here, or there's like something that's going to stall it until we can get back to Able and tell them.
Well,
or tell I guess we could radio them, but then they'll probably hear that, won't they?
how certain are we that it's? I mean, we could be stopping a plan happening that is supposed to be helping us. That's the only problem. I mean,
if someone at Able is trying to help you, they're doing it without your knowledge. You weren't told that there was going to be any kind of support operation today.
Exactly. I think we're in I think we've stumbled into a trap.
Yeah.
Is there anything about what this person's wearing that's particularly, what they're wearing? Does it look like a uniform? Is there anything on it?
Make me a brains roll.
5.
This person they're wearing fairly like nondescript kind of like athletic clothes, but you notice that they actually have around their necks like a kind of lanyard that says VA Labs.
Van Ark Labs.
This is a canonical, everybody. Don't forget. There's no canon things happening here.
Well, I'm not sure what we should do. I feel like we should. If we give up our position, we could be putting ourselves in even more danger. Perhaps we need to just get out of this building and get back to Able as soon as possible. What do you think?
Do you think there's any? I'm not sure. I wonder if there's something we could do, like pretending to be this person if they don't know they're dead. Like that. Like,
try and fish for
example,
information.
We could misspeak and have someone and be like, "Yes, I'm right by Able," or like, I don't know, like not that, but like I wonder if we could sort of assume their identity temporarily.
You want to try that?
Is this person a man or a woman that we've killed?
A woman.
A woman. Okay. Then it has to be you, Ronna 16, or myself. With the.
Yeah. We could. I mean,
who looks more like the dead body, you or me?
It is a radio, so.
No, I mean
they can't see us.
Yeah.
No, but if we end up, one of us might end up wearing the lanyard, and end up.
Oh, I see.
Couldn't we? One of us could wear the lanyard as well.
Yeah.
No, we should probably grab it.
Yeah. So
at
who
least.
looks more like them?
What was that?
We should probably grab the lanyard at least. I tell you what, I'm I am feeling nervous and active, and while we're talking about this, I've picked up the crowbar, and I'm just working on the vending machine. Yeah.
Give me a brawn roll.
4.
You haven't got anything out of the vending machine.
Okay. Yeah.
So you hear on the radio while you're negotiating what you're going to do, and while you're trying to get something out of the vending machine, you hear all stations in position. T-minus 5 minutes. Prepare.
Oh my God.
Prepare for operation.
So I think we either have to stop it or tell Abel, and if they hear us on the transmission, then they hear us.
We've got Lulu.
Yeah. Can she get there in 5 minutes? No, and they don't speak Pidge.
No,
They don't speak Pigeon. What can we do? And who ruffled Lulu's feathers?
yes, these people.
Confused and
I
scared.
think they've poisoned her. That's my worry, actually.
I mean, clearly we're out without radio backup today, and so we can't. And presumably that means that there isn't anyone we can try and tune the radio into, and ask. I guess.
So what?
So what was your idea? What was your idea, 16? To sort of, or 3? What, to try and impersonate someone on the radio? See what's going on?
That was my first one, to like fish for information. But if they said T-minus 5 minutes, I mean that seems like if there's anything we can do to just pull the plug.
Yeah.
Like whether it's something as saying like, this is does the radio have any like number on it, or like how would identify something? We don't. To be like emergency transmission, like
Abort operation.
new information received, abort operation, will explain back at base or something. I don't know. But it seems like if you've got 5 minutes.
Mission has been compromised, I think, maybe.
Who's going to give us a try?
I'm standing there with my bat
Run a
at this
16, that was
stage.
your
I'm saying,
idea. That's
whatever
good.
you do it quickly, because I think we should get out of here.
All right. I shall do it. So do I roll?
I would like you to roll 3 dice.
Okay.
And it's a brains roll.
Okay, so 1. I got a 6. A 6. Ooh. And a 5.
Ooh.
Wait, that's good, isn't it?
I reckon that's good.
It's bad.
So you get on the radio, and what do you say?
I say, this is an emergency transmission. Abort the plan. Abort the plan. Plan has been compromised. All units immediately return to base and await further instruction. Abort the plan. Abort the plan. Abort the plan.
So you broadcast this message over the radio, and you start to hear a lot of messages kind of coming in all at once from different stations, and it seems that you hear that Station 4, the Rotherham Park station that you overheard before, is like, "What? I knew this was a bad idea. I knew," and that, like, you're not hearing everything that they're saying, but they seem really rattled by this. And then the voice that you'd heard at Station 2 is saying, "This is clearly a trick. Stay on target." Like, hearing these interruptions, and the other stations do seem like completely rattled, and you hear the voice that was reporting the containment status that is like, "Please confirm, confirm abort, kind of coming in over the top of everything.
I say confirm. Abort confirmed.
Abort confirmed. I'm opening the gates. And you hear the background kind of whistling that you've been hearing since you entered the town just kind of cuts off. And then you hear, quite distantly, the sounds of like, well, actually, everyone make me a brains roll, and I'll tell you if you recognise the noise.
I bet I know what it is. 3.
3.
5.
You hear the sounds of a lot of cars kind of rocking on their wheels. Like you probably you might recall it from like seeing footage from like a riot on TV or something, of like as though a wave of people were kind of like rocking a car trying to tip it over. Maybe it's within earshot for sure. Like this isn't a huge long way away.
I thought there were no cars on the street.
So must have all taken them out of town.
So has this car driven in? Is it just one car or lots of cars?
Rocking a car.
It's quite a big noise you're hearing.
Why?
It sounds to me like whatever was being contained it was probably zombies, and it sounds like they're getting out of whatever cordon had been put up for them. That's what it sounds like. And I think we just need to get out of here so we can see the street at least. Give
Yeah, I
ourselves a
agree.
chance.
Let's leave this gym.
Otherwise, we're going to be trapped
yeah.
in here.
Yep.
So have we mucked up
100%.
doing that? Should we not have...
So you walk out
Aborted
onto the street, and the noise is louder out here. And you can hear that the noise that you're hearing is coming from basically further down the high street that you're on. So, as you come out of the gym, to the right you've got the high street side that you entered from, the road bridge and then the railway, and to the left you've got the high street kind of curves around out of sight, and that's where the noise is coming from.
Okay. So do we walk towards the noise or do we walk away from the noise?
I'm saying that we go quickly away from it.
You hear suddenly a creaking and groaning and crashing of metal.
Oh no!
And you hear now very plainly a lot of zombies.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh God! Anna bought them. I'm sorry.
Let's run.
Why would they believe that? Why would they abort the plan?
As you stand around dumbfounded in horror, the first few zombies begin to sprint round the end of the high street.
Crap!
Maybe about 500 yards away from where you are right now.
I'm bracing with the bat. I think we just come on, guys. We just need to
Wait,
get
I've
out
got
of
a
here.
torch. I've got a torch.
Throw it at them.
I've got a big stick.
Oh dear.
Oh, this is terrible.
Where's Lulu?
Is there any?
Why didn't...
On the bus stop still.
She's on the bus stop, okay.
Could you start?
Yeah, she's probably queuing pretty hard.
16, 3. We need to get out of here. Let's run in the opposite direction, quick.
Let's run in the opposite direction, maybe quite near to the houses, in case that stops them seeing us.
Yes, good call. Let's try and get out of sight. Good idea.
Yeah.
Everybody, give me a 2-die brawn roll, please.
Oh, 2 and a 6.
2 sixes.
1 and 5.
So we're looking for a low roll on brawn. So Sally, celebrating too soon. Run a 13 and run a 16. You manage to shake yourself out of your fear and get moving pretty quickly. Run a 3. You're also running, but kind of in your haste, in your panic, calling Lulu back to you. Mm-hmm. You're kind of cooing a little bit too hard, really, and you end up making like a lot of pigeon noise.
I hate it when that
and
happens.
the zombies are hot on your heels now, and they're maybe 500 yards away, still about that distance away now that you've started running, but they are absolutely laser guided following you. So you're running, sprinting down the high street, passing past the broken shops, coming to the kind of open square where this train station is. You can see the railway extending out ahead of you. The road bridge is off to your right. What are y'all going to do?
As runner 3 fallen behind.
No, you're all still keeping pace. It's just that runner 3 has made sure the zombies knew which way
Oh
you were going.
no! Don't worry about it.
The
runner
railway
3.
really held us up, didn't
Yeah.
it? It was very hard to get through, which might mean it's hard for the zombies to get through as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Good call. If we can sort of
And throw
get
stuff
to
as
the
we
other
go,
side
maybe.
of the railway bridge, maybe they'll get caught up in all that scrub.
Yeah.
Does that?
If we can, also the stuff that we got, if we sort of kick it back as we go, just make it harder for
The
them
zombies are getting closer as you're sort of trying to decide what to do. Maybe
Let's
about
go.
400 yards away now.
Right.
Okay. Let's go quite
We've
fast.
got to keep moving.
please.
I reckon we should head to the railway line again.
Yeah.
Yep. Me too.
Okay, everybody, give me another double die brawn roll, please.
Oh my god.
Oh.
6 and 4.
6 and 4.
Damn sixes.
Hang on. 6 and 6 and 6.
I've got a 1-5 this time.
The zombies, you're running along through the square. The zombies are now kind of catching your scent and are accelerating.
Oh,
And
bumbags.
you've only got about 300 yards on them now. They're getting very, very close. You get to the foot of the railway bridge, and now you need to try to cross it. This took you a long time previously. What's your approach to getting over safely this time? What are you going to do differently?
I've still got that crowbar, which is a really good scythe. I'm gonna cut a path through for us, because we're kind of prepared for it. It's like, right, I think we need to follow me, guys. I'm gonna try and whip a path through ahead of us. Okay, just stay behind me, stay in file, and then we can get through.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Everybody roll me 2 brawn dice, but Phil roll me 3, please.
Okay. 2, 3, and 3.
3 and 2.
Wowza.
1 and 5 again.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of successes. Very nice. So you're kind of retracing your steps across the railway bridge from the first time you crossed it. You know, there's sleepers that you know are safe. There are vines that you cut down. Runner 13 is using his crowbar to kind of like swipe away any of the kind of prickling vines and things. So you make pretty good progress across, and more than that, you actually have time, because runner 13 you're putting this effort into clearing the bridge as you go. Runner 16 and runner 3 are given a bit more time to kind of work on the zombies, so to speak. So just give me a very brief, quick idea, both of you, of like something that you might do together that you hope might slow the zombies down. I know you talked about that as you were.
Do we create more space between us, or do we try and hide in the undergrowth?
You could maybe try and hide. I think you can certainly. You talked about trying to kind of like block the way behind you a little bit, try and make it more difficult to pass.
I could be using my big stick to like tear down, much as it pains me, like ivy and stuff.
Oh
that's
yeah,
growing
kind of
up
pull down the. So
As
yeah,
we
so
go.
runner 13 is going ahead with this crowbar, kind of like scything the like brambles and things that have grown over this railway bridge. And runner 16, you're kind of mucking the path up on your way past and pulling things across the route. Okay, great. So you kind of clamber and scratch and claw your way over the railway bridge, and you're following the path that you've made. And runner 16, you're kind of trying to drag vines back across the path with your big stick, and maybe levering up a railway sleeper here and there to kind of block the path a little bit. And you get to the other side of of the bridge, and the zombies have fallen back a little bit now. They're at closer in terms of distance because you've spent some time crossing this bridge, but they have been slowed down. So now you're on the other side of the bridge. You've got an opportunity to make some headway. So you carry running on, and everybody make me a 1 die brawn roll, please.
6 again.
6.
2.
1 success.
4.
1 success. So you set off running across the bridge again. In your haste to escape from the zombies, you just straight retrace the path that you came from Abel, that you came down to get from Abel to here, and because you're running from the zombies so quickly, you're not really making much effort to disguise yourselves or hide or anything like that. And before you realize what's happened, realize the mistake that you've made, you begin to hear sounds of gunfire.
Oh no!
From back on the road bridge, basically, and you think pretty clearly that whoever was laying this trap has spotted you and is now. You hear on the radio, "Bandit sighted! Bandit sighted! Heading back towards Abel."
So were they following us from the beginning? Oh my!
No, they've just spotted you, and they're kind of calling
They
out
know
on the radio
we're from
which direction
Abel.
you're going in.
They know we're from Abel. Okay.
Oh,
Have we still
gosh.
got the radio on us?
Yeah, that's how you heard what I
Oh,
was
of
just saying.
course, yeah.
Leave us alone!
Do you want to really do that?
Well, no, but we could ask her. I mean, I think we need to take cover because we've got some gap in between us and the zombies now, right? So we need to. Presumably, we're on this railway bridge. So
You've crossed the railway bridge. You've got the clear path ahead of you
okay,
now, pretty much.
So
Zombies are behind you.
So we could briefly take some cover away from the gunfire behind one of the arches, right? And maybe we'll say, "Look, we're from Abel. Who the hell are you? You know we're from Abel. Who are you? What do you want with us?" Something like that, maybe. Do you reckon?
Well, why not? They've
Yeah, I
seen
mean
us.
we've
If we're
got
out
nothing
of
to
cover- if
lose.
we're outside of
Let's try
gunfire.
and get more information. Our odds can only improve with more information at this point. I calculate.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So you're saying sort of, yeah, you know we're from Abel. Who are you? What do you want? Is that kind of the general course of questioning?
Yeah, kind of.
Are you trying to like intimidate them? Are you trying to just kind of like play it quite straight? Like, what's your approach here on a 13?
I'm going to play it quite straight because as a poker player, I don't think I've got. I'm not going to try and bluff them. They know where we are. They know there's only 3 of them. I'm not going to try and intimidate them. It's quite a straight play to say, look, you know we're here. You know who we are. You know we're trying to head back to Abel. Who are you? What do you want? That is, it's just a straightforward grab for information.
Make a brains roll.
6 again. There's something wrong with these guys.
That die is cocked, mate. That is weighted.
It's ridiculous.
The person at the other end of the radio says that they what they want is for you to lie down like good little Abel scum and become a feast for the zombies.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Thank you.
Bozos. You can
Denied.
Right, if there's any feasting happening, it's happening on you lot. That's it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
go on
Yeah.
your faces
Yeah.
like good people. Oh shit!
Do we not ask
with
another
that- with that-
question? Do we not ask why do you want us? Do we? do we try to engage them in a conversation after that?
What's your problem with Able Township?
What's the problem with Able Township? What can
Who
we
hurt
do
you?
to make you feel better about the
What's your problem, man? What's your
we
problem?
know we've got the information now. We know they're after us. They know we know they want us dead. So we've got to get out.
Yeah, and with your frankly rather shit chat, you noticed that the zombies have now started to clear the railway bridge, so that the threat to your lives is much more imminent again.
Okay.
So
We need
you've
to get
got
out here.
over on your kind of right flank, taking cover behind some trees, but there's still the threat of this gunfire. Behind you have the zombies chasing you, coming clear of the railway bridge. Ahead of you have maybe 4.5 kilometres to get back to Able. What are you going to do?
Is
Run
there
a 16.
something Oh, Eleanor, sorry, run a 16. Sorry.
No, go. You go.
You go. You were
and then I
before me.
have a
Go.
thought. I was going to say, because obviously I think we need to get moving, we could disguise ourselves with yet more of our friends, the plants, and put them on ourselves so that it's hard for them to fire at us, and then kind of try and get back under cover of leaf.
You want to kind of quickly jury rig like a ghillie suit to kind of hide yourself.
Yeah.
It's been raining though. It's cold. Is there like a puddle or mud? Do we just camo up in mud?
Yeah.
Oh.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mud, leaves, all the stuff.
You can spend the time to do that, and the zombies are going to get closer to you in exchange for that.
Is
Do you want to try
anything-
that?
Yeah. I was about to add to that on top. Is there something very powerful in the pigeon poo that the zombies don't like? That actually there's a certain
That's not
chance.
something we've established. I think
That blows zombies run
Lulu is
wide
becoming
open.
rather too superpowered in your imagination, Sally.
So we've got this magic pigeon.
Can my pigeon eat all of the zombies and not get hurt,
Can my
please?
pigeon go on a bombing raid with guano? In fact, not just the zombies, the gun-toting enemies as well. Let's take them out.
Yeah. And then the zombie poo turns out to cure the zombie apocalypse,
Yeah,
and
there
everyone
you go.
gets free ice cream. Beautiful. No, I don't think Lulu can help you here. At least not with the zombies. But you can try certainly to quickly don a little bit of jury rig camouflage in exchange for letting the zombies get a little bit closer. If you want to give that a try.
Yeah, and we could also sort of when we get going again, we can zigzag because we're in open ground now across the meadow, right? So if we kind of try and break up our silhouettes with this camouflage against the hedges, which are against the edge of the meadow, we can keep sort of, moving about a bit as well.
So, Eleanor, I'm going to ask you to make me a brains roll with 2 dice, please. Plants being your specialty. Let's see how quickly you can
5.
rig up some camouflage.
A 5 and a 4.
5 and a 4, very nice. So you don't have a lot of time, but you grab some kind of like mosses and grasses that are kind of everywhere, and just sort of daub everybody with something to make them look a little bit less bright and shiny. And you start running kind of back across the open ground in a zigzag pattern, as you say. Sally, can you make me a brawn roll, please?
6.
As you're running and you're kind of covered in this camouflage and like zigzagging left and right, Lulu takes off suddenly and flies away over the hill ahead of you, out of sight. Rattled by the gunfire and the zombies and kind of... she's really had a hard day of it. And you notice that as she's flying away, she's flying a lot straighter now. Like she's not flying quite so curvy anymore. She's flying with quite a determination, for sure.
It must have been that. I wonder if she was affected by that noise as well. Maybe that was
Yes.
interfering with her pigeon guidance system. Has she got radar? So it's,
Yes, yeah.
she
She's got
probably
radar.
has.
Radar, sonar, the whole lot.
So she's going to go back to Abel. She's on her way, hopefully. She's going that way, is she, Matt? Operator?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's where she's flying. Right, running zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Okay, here we go. The gunfire is like pattering your feet, like you're being opened up with some like kind of automatic weapons at a distance. You know, they're a good way away from you, so they're not really doing a good job of hitting you. But it is making it really difficult for you to evade the zombies. And the first few dozen zombies are now across the bridge, and you've got maybe like 24 zombies kind of chasing you. And the first couple of them are getting closer and closer. So can you all make me a brawn roll with a single die individually, please?
4.
3.
So run a 16 and run a 3. The gunfire is distracting you. You're running with like this camouflage on. It's been like an incredibly like difficult like hour, a lot of cardio. You're really exhausted, and the zombies are just catching up and catching up and catching up. Run a 13 as you sprint ahead in your zigzag pattern, and you look back over your shoulder. You see that the nearest zombie roars forwards and leaps to run a 16. Run a 16. Make me a brawn roll, please, with your big heavy stick.
6. Oh no, that's bad.
That's very bad. You
God.
attempt to kind of like spin round and catch this zombie with your big stick, but your feet give out under you under the mud, and you fall backwards into the mud, sprawling, and your stick drops out of your hand. Run a 3. You falling backwards as well. You see this happen. Is there anything you'd like react? I suppose. You see run a 16. Falling, a zombie is falling towards her as well.
I'd like to pick up the stick and then hit the zombie and smash up.
You're not going to have time to do that. You're not going to have time to do that. The zombie's going to. The zombie's going to be on top of run a 16 before you have time to get the stick.
I can't help her.
You could pick up the stick, but the zombie's going to be on top of run a 16. So this is all happening in a millisecond as you kind of slow down and stumble.
Have I got time to turn around and give it a swipe as it's coming towards her to try and hit it for 6?
Make me a brawn roll.
Oh, don't be 6 again, you idiot!
Can you bring that and I
1.
flash the torch?
It's 1.
It was a 1.
This magic die you've got there.
The memory of the crystal clear moment of reaction in the gym comes back to you, and you just feel the muscle memory. You tighten your hands around the handle of your cricket bat, and you step forwards in stride and catch this zombie on the chin.
Cover drive.
Beautiful cover drive. And knock the zombie clear of Runner 16's body, and it spins to one side, landing in the brush. The zombie isn't killed, but it's kind of off Runner 16 momentarily. Runner 16 on your back. Runner 3 still kind of have reaction available in this moment of kind of horror that's occurred.
Can I help her up at this point, or is that not going to help?
You absolutely can, yeah. So you reach your hand down and you grab
Yeah.
Runner 16 and pull her to her feet,
Yeah.
and you all keep running, and the zombies are hot on your heels now. The first attack evaded. Thankfully, the fear and the adrenaline is kind of pushing you forwards now, and the zombies getting kind of keeping up with you but not getting any closer when you're running ahead clear. And you see ahead of you the wood, Rotherham Wood, that you heard as Station 4 before on the radios. 13, you're in front. Can you give me a brains roll, please?
Okay. 2.
2. You remember that the people that were at Station 4 were in Rotherham Wood, so you're worried that there might be people there still still waiting for you. Like you're worried you might be running into another trap.
Do you know? As we're running, we've still got the thingy, the radio. I'm wondering. I've got some basic sort of electronics knowledge. I'm wondering if there's some way I can screw with my radio to make it interfere with the others so they can't communicate. I don't know whether that's possible. Maybe I can use old Vic to like short it out or something.
I was hoping old Vic would
Do some electronics while I'm running along.
Give me another brain roll.
I mean, I realise I'm reaching here a little bit, but
It is a bit of a reach,
it
yeah.
is a bit of it. Okay.
But give me another brain roll.
Four.
You're thinking about this absolutely madcap, silly plan while you're running. In your panic, you're kind of thinking about trying to rewire a radio on the run.
Ridiculous.
And thinking about trying to use Old Vic for that purpose. It does just make you remember that because you're thinking about kind of current passing through this penny and like creating this kind of short circuit. And the first thing you think of when you think of a short circuit is feedback. And these are not complicated radios, and you think that if you turned it up very loud and just held down the transmit button, you might just broadcast open frequency to everybody.
Yeah. Great. I do that. And I also go...
While you're running. So you are holding down the radio and you've got the volume turned all the way up, and you're just kind of singing into the radio while you're running with these zombies right on your heels. You start to hear echoed in another radio off in the wood this very peculiar noise that you're making, this kind of... And then, as you are running into the wood and you're hearing this radio noise all around you, the zombies right hot on your heels, you actually do hear that the noise you're making is being echoed by the sound of a pigeon returning over the hill.
Unbelievable.
With the regular daily patrol for this city from Abel have been summoned by Lulu. They come running down the hill with their guns, and they shout, "Take cover! Take cover! Take cover!" And runners 23 and 32 take up firing positions on the hill line and begin to give you some covering fire while the zombies chase you. And indeed, that was your salvation.
The cavalry.
With the help of the patrol. And with Lulu, and with Phil's bizarre singing into the radio at the end.
I just slipped in the mud and held us up and nearly got us killed.
Safely back to Abel.
Great.
We've got great skin. We've like a mud
all the
pack.
time we have.
It's like a
You've got beautiful skin.
amazing skin.
Yeah, I forgot we were dressed up as swamp men as well.
And that is the story of your adventure into the city. Thank you for playing, everybody.
Oh, wow.
What wonderful fun.
That was very good.
Well, that was my
great.
first time.
Great
I
job,
love
runners.
that. Thanks so much. Thank you.
That was wonderful fun. We've kind of hit the end of our time, but we can stay and just hang out for a minute afterwards.
Yep.
But I want to remind everybody watching that you too can have all this fun with a hastily improvised adventure at Zombies Roll. Just get 2 or 3 of your friends together and make sure that you've got a VIP subscription. This is what the game will look like when you get it. We also have wonderful Runners of the Round Table merchandise available for sale on shop.zombiesrungame.com. Virtual Race 13 will be coming to you very soon in your VIP subscription. Please do head over now to zombiesrungame.com, get your VIP subscription, and enjoy the race. Hope you've enjoyed watching us all have a bit of silly fun on Tuesday afternoon together. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.